Hi you guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys a review and demo on these brand new Covergirl brow products. So first off, to begin, Covergirl did send me these products. My opinion is not biased at all. I'm talking to you guys about these products as if I purchased them on my own with my own money. So they released two brow products. We have these brow products that are in the pomade form, and that's how they look. There are 4 shades in this line. And then they went ahead and released 4 different brow products in a pencil form, and these are retractable, 4 shades in this line as well. Okay, so let's talk about the brow pencils first, because I definitely do prefer these over the pomades, like for sure. So these do retail for $7.99 a piece, and I will have all the links in the description box if you guys want to pick up anything for yourselves. But usually you could get these brow products for buy one get one half off, so you can always save yourself a nice amount of money. So like I mentioned, there are 4 shades in the line. I would have loved if they would have included at least 6 to 8 shades maybe, because I just don't feel like every single person will be able to find a brow product in this line for their specific brow color. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But I'm going to give you guys swatches of all of these so you guys can see which one would possibly work for your specific brows. So I specifically use the shade Soft Brown, and I find that it's perfect for me. This is how the brow pencil looks. It is very thin. It reminds me of like the ABH Brow Wiz, like the packaging, or like the NYX, you know, super thin, precise brow pencil type of thing. I don't even know what that's called, but anyways, this is how it looks. There is a spoolie on one side, as a lot of brow pencils do tend to have, and I really like this spoolie. It really gets a good grip on the brows. And then you just turn it over. There's a lid here, and then you have a retractable brow pencil. So here's how the brow product looks up close if you guys were curious. On one side, like I mentioned, we have the spoolie, which is super nice, thin and precise. And then on the other side, we have the retractable brow pencil. Okay, so here's how the brow pencils look once they're swatched. The first one on top, which is this one right over here, is called Soft Blonde. The one right under that is called Honey Brown. And then we have the shade Rich Brown, and then the shade Soft Brown is the last one. Okay, so what it says on Ulta's site about these brow pencils is that these brow pencils are for beautiful brows that last all day. Try Covergirl's Easy Breezy Brow Microfine Define Pencil. A microfine tip means no sharpening required, which is always a plus. Like, I love the retractable aspect of this. And a built-in spoolie, which is always helpful as well. This will help you groom your brow into a full, naturally defined pair. From a soft blonde to rich brown, this brow definer is available in multiple shades, and like I mentioned, it's available in 4 different shades. So Covergirl also mentions a few benefits you can get while using these brow products. You can get full, naturally defined brows that last, which I really do agree with. You can get really nice, full defined brows with these, or you can get really nice, subtly feathery brow effects with this as well. So I like that you can get both of them. The consistency of these brow pencils are really nice and creamy. Not creamy to the extent where, you know, it goes all over the place and you don't have a grip on it, but creamy enough that you don't have to go over the same spot 45 times. And stiff enough that it actually stays in place. So literally like the best of both worlds. I think that I like this a bit more than the ABH Brow Wiz, and you guys know how much I love that. I just find that this is a little bit more easier for me to maneuver and use and create beautiful brow effects. So I really do like these brow pencils. I've been using it for the past month and I do not want to put it down. I'm going to be including a demo right now of me using the brow pencil in the shade Soft Brown, so you guys can see how it applies. And also I think it's a great way for you guys to see what my actual brow routine is, like how I fill in my brows, how I like it to look, and how I ace them, you know. So let's get into the demo, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about the pomades. Okay, so we are up close and personal. This is currently how my brows look. As you guys can see, the front part of my brows are a bit thicker, the end gets a bit thinner here as well. They're definitely not even. I feel like people say like brows are supposed to be not twins but like sisters. I feel like mine aren't even neighbors, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're barely related. When I was 17, I plucked out like this whole part of my brow, so that's why it's so thin, but my brows used to be this thick, like the whole thing. Hopefully they will grow in nicely and a bit more thicker. But let's go ahead and get started with the demo. I'm going to use the brow pencil in the shade Soft Brown. And of course there's a spoolie on one side and then the brow pencil on the other. So firstly, what I like to do with my brows is brush them upwards. I feel like I finally have like my brow game down, you know? So brush them upwards, and I usually always start from the bottom. Okay. I just twist up the brow pencil a teensy bit, and I start working from like here. I don't go from like the front, from here. We'll go back to the front in a second. But since it's a bit thicker over here and it's thinner, I want to create an even line so that everything looks a bit more uniformed and a bit more thicker because it's so thin over here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm just gonna lightly like draw a line straight to the actual arch and then round it off over here. Okay, so once I did that, and as you guys can see, you barely have to put any pressure and it's pretty pigmented. I'm gonna round it off a teeny bit. Just like that. Once that's done, I'm gonna lightly start heading towards the front area, following along the same line, but like with much lighter like strokes. Up to like here, right? Then what I'm gonna do is begin with the top area. So like we started in this section down here, I'm gonna start in the same section up here. To the most part, I'm just gonna draw a straight line. Straight, till it gets to the arch and then bend it over. Bend it over. And then connect both. And then that's pretty much it. Once that's done, it's so easy to fill in because it's like you're just coloring inside like a coloring book, like a picture or something, you know? So I fill in the end. I put a little bit more pressure because I don't mind if that's a bit darker. Okay, I always make sure to brush also, usually upwards. Then what I do is hop towards the front area. So I don't like when the front is like super precise and dark, like the end of the brow. So I just do hair-like strokes and I just brush it upwards, just like a lot of people do. I realize I really enjoy that kind of brow look and it's more like feathery-ish, you know? So I'm gonna go from the front right here and do such light strokes. Like barely. And even if there's like sparse areas in the front, like I don't mind that. Like I want it to look that way, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it. And since we didn't draw the line from the front over here, the brows are able to just chill and be more feathery, you know? So that's basically the brow I like to go for. And then once again, always brush it upwards. I mean, that's what I always do. I always brush it upwards. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Looks pretty good. And then usually what I do after that is take this Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer, kind of like brow mascara. I've been loving the combination of both of these. I know this is a Covergirl video, but I wanted to include this because this is what I've been using a lot. I like to use this on its own. It gives a nice amount of color to the brows, but I also really like to use it when I use a brow pencil, just to give me a bit more color, like a teensy bit more. It sets the brows in place nicely as well. I go very light with this, and I feel like it gives me more of a feathery brow effect, like even more than the brow pencil, even when I brush them up and everything. And plus it stays that way throughout the day. So the last thing that I usually do is go in with a concealer. It doesn't really matter which concealer, I just go in with the concealer I'm using for that week. And this one is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I like to just clean up the bottom part of my brow so it looks a bit more defined, but I don't always do this. It depends on how much time I have, if I'm really looking for that super precise brow effect. But sometimes I skip it and it's totally fine. Okay, so the brush I'm gonna use is this random Urban Decay brush. I think this came in one of like the Urban Decay palettes. I'm just gonna take a teeny bit. It's like a flat shader brush, so it's like perfect. With scratches here, 1 second. Okay, so what I like to do is go from the front. Kind of go along the same lines as the brow. And if there are any areas where I just, you know, wasn't perfect or precise, this kind of cleans it up. So just something like that. I wipe off the excess and then I just start blending this downwards. And it does look a bit crazy now, and it will look crazy, but don't let that discourage you, because once the whole face is on, like the whole makeup look, it looks really good. There. So what the concealer will do essentially is clean up the area, and it will brighten up your brow bone. So that's pretty much how it looks. You guys can see between this and this, it's like day and night. So yes, if you guys were contemplating on these CoverGirl brow pencils, they're specifically called the Ultra Fine Brow Pencils. I would definitely recommend it. I know you guys are absolutely gonna love it, and I stand by them 100%. Like, they're really, really good. I promise, they're amazing. Okay, then moving on to the pomades. So CoverGirl did release 4 pomades as well, and this is how they look. They really give me like Chanel vibes, you know, like with the sleek black and then the font of the word CoverGirl. I don't know. So here's how the packaging of the pomade looks up close. Then you can pull out the brow brush that's connected to this part right over here. So just like the Benefit Brow, this is kind of similar in packaging, or pretty much I would say kind of a dupe. Then once you twist off this part, you have the pomade in there. Focus. Yeah. These do retail for $10.99 a piece, and you can get them for buy one get one half off usually. It is in the same shades as the brow pencils, so they're pretty much like the same color, but just a different consistency of brow product. Okay, so let me show you guys these shades first, and then I'll share with you guys my opinion on it. Okay, so here's how the brow pencils look, and this is how the pomades look down here. So the first shade that we have up is called Soft Blonde. Next one is called Honey Brown. This one right here is called Soft Brown. And then the last one is called Rich Brown. So you guys can see how they look. They are pretty identical, the brow pencils and the pomade, like in color. So basically CoverGirl says that you can just apply these on with one stroke and you're good to go. So my experience with these pomades were that they're just okay. First of all, I definitely do think that they took the inspiration from Benefit's Brow, like in regards to packaging, which, you know, is a cool thing. If you can't afford that and you can afford this, you know, it's a good feeling. But I found that the quality of these are a bit slippery for my liking. You know, like it does set in place once it's on there, but to actually get it like, you know, in the brows nicely, I feel like it's just a little bit too messy for me. With these specific pomades, I just felt like it wasn't easy to apply, and I always created a very like messy, super heavy look. I feel like for me, it's like I can't go light with this. Like if I put this on, it looks like I have a Sharpie brow or like a really defined brow that looks so fake. And you know, some people might be into that, but I'm totally not. I will say that the consistency of these CoverGirl brow pomades are not similar to the Brow by Benefit. If anything, they're pretty similar to the Dip Brow by ABH, but this one is more creamier than the Dip Brow. So if you have tried the Dip Brow, this one is creamier than that. Some people might like that, some people might not. For me, I just felt like it was a little bit of a downer because it was a little bit tough for me to fill in my brows evenly and nicely with this specific product. I will say that the price point of these products are pretty on par and pretty affordable compared to a lot of other pomades in the drugstore. So that's pretty much it with the brow set and sculpt brow pomades. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the review and the demo. I hope you found it helpful. Definitely let me know if these products intrigue you, if you're going to go ahead and pick up the brow pencil or the pomade. I think that's pretty much it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.